Everybody, thank you so much for joining me. I'm so excited about a live Q&A to really put this intangible art form of communication into something that everyone understands instantly how to apply. I have students already in the hypnosis training, and they are finding that this program has made hypnosis not only tangible, but simple and really easy to apply in just a couple of weeks. So it took me a few years in the very beginning to really understand what hypnosis was beyond the scripts. There are so many people out there considering hypnosis as a structure of words. But before we were using the structures of words, hypnotism was still happening because it's as old as the mind. So if we think about compliance, everyone already is complying inside of a hypnosis story. So often people will think that hypnosis is something that they may be interested in or they've heard about, but they haven't experienced it yet. I'm here to explain that you've already experienced hypnosis. You already are in hypnosis. You are complying to stories, society's stories, your own stories. And language is so subtle at the subconscious level. There's a huge distinction between this and it. Now, when we speak or when we have those unspoken conversations or stories in our mind, we don't understand that we can shift something as subtle as this to it, to dissociate some story that we may be in that we've outgrown. It's outdated, it's limited, it's holding us back in some way. So in this training product, I've put together not only the theory or philosophy or understanding of hypnosis at a tangible form, but I break it down into its simple formulas so that you can use hypnosis in your everyday life way beyond the scripts. To me, logic is two-dimensional and hypnosis is three-dimensional. It's experiential. So you're already experiencing it, yet you may not recognize what opportunities are right here for you in your present. Students that have gone through this training already are telling me about personal life changes. And of course, they're working with other people, friends or family, or maybe they're already doing coaching. And so they're working with some of their clients with these hypnosis processes and just getting phenomenal results for behavioral change, lasting effect to behavioral change, better sleep, nail biting, binge eating, any sort of destructive habit like smoking, or productive habits like having that motivation to wake up earlier and go exercise. They are finding that they themselves and the people that they work with, if they're in the service industry, are having this behavioral change just through a conversation that we can call hypnosis. Now, hypnosis doesn't have to happen with the eyes closed. So I do a lot to explain what hypnosis is and what it isn't, because for sure we've seen, hypnosis in the media, and that can make it be presented in this sort of mind control, right? Only some people can be hypnotized, and if they are, then they're weak-willed, and maybe somebody might use it for a sinister effect. It's really not possible to use hypnosis in negative ways. You have to have participation. Now, it could be subconscious participation. Think about the stage shows, right? Those people have gone there willingly, and the hypnotist is a bit of it's a theater, a bit of an illusionist, and they've asked for compliance to sort of pre-vet the audience before they bring them on stage. And if you really watch the hypnosis stage shows, you'll see that they progress more and more and more elaborate suggestions until they have that person who may be out of typical character, acting like an animal or drinking vinegar or putting needles in their hands and really not even remembering it and not even feeling it. So the phenomenon of hypnosis is real, but the susceptibility to be hypnotized beyond your compliance just isn't factual. So let me know if you have any particular questions about hypnosis, because I could talk for hours about hypnosis, because this is how I got into this industry, was just a curiosity. When the word came across me in my life and several of the books that I was interested in, I just really needed to understand, is this a real thing, or is it just something for a few people like what I've seen on media and entertainment? So I'm checking out. Okay. All right, so this training that I've put together, so I've got a question about, what does the training include? So it's a 2-part series. Series 1 is really a transformation tool for anybody out there. And let me say too, hypnosis is not a placebo. It's not anything you have to believe. It's already happening. And so if you follow the instructions of hypnosis, which are very simple, and they're also very subtle. So we're often doing a hypnosis sequence, but we sometimes miss that last pivotal point of turning it from logic to experiential. Sort of like I was talking earlier with the this versus it subtlety. A lot of people might stay disassociated in that it context, sort of like what we understand with affirmations, right? We don't want to keep it in the future tense. It will happen, but we also don't want to keep it in the outside of the real subconscious experience that it is happening. Instead, we want this is happening. And that means you feel it, you see it. You could imagine any of the senses are experiencing it. So series 1 on its own is a very complete, full covering of everything about what is hypnosis, the histories of hypnosis, the process or foundational structure of how to use hypnosis for yourself or others. And it includes demo videos and scripts and sample audios. And then for series 1, I have a final assignment, which is optional, but it is prerequisite if you want to move forward into the next part, which is a completely additional optional program, which I've called series 2. So series 1 is $1,000. I have payment plans if you need payment plans to take this transformation tool. I mean, I've already got people who are doing series 1 and they've worked with 20. This guy was telling me he's done 40 or 50 sessions. And so you can imagine how he's gotten his value's worth in just that series 1. So after series 1, if you want to really deepen some of those concepts, and this is where we really break down so much of the psychology branches, because hypnosis being as old as the mind, we can understand really psychology, which is the study of the behaviors and functions within the mind, branched off of hypnosis. So I've had some students comment that they've been studying psychology and meditation and, let's say, spiritual energy influencing for a really long time, and that these products that I've made include so much of what they've taken in other products at more of a direct and complete, and also even simplified. Although they are very, very deep, full concepts, but I want them to be approachable for any person. You don't need to be a psychologist to understand this. You just need to be somebody who wants to take initiative with their own mind. So series 2, in addition to going deeper and a little bit further into other branches like parts therapy, regression, we cover change work like behavioral change at a destructive level, and then self-actualizing, which is that top tier of the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, his pyramid. So it's really about how do you become and feel that you are your best self right now. Yes, there's more that you can continue to actualize towards your entire life. You can continue to get more every single day so that you can feel like your very best self. Series 2 also includes some group meetings. It's virtual practice. We meet for 6 weeks with other people studying at the same pace as you so that you can get that live practice time. All right, so I've got a question. How does a typical hypnosis session look? How long is it? How many sessions do clients typically need? Very great question. It's not a standardized process when you really apply the potential to this art of hypnosis. So you can Google right now hypnosis scripts for smoking or weight loss or nail biting, and you're going to find a great resource of free scripts. Those scripts were written by whoever they were written by, and they're a great script for that person. Are they a great script for you? Is that your natural language? Are you going to feel confident and clear on the intention of what that script is there to complete? That's up to you and maybe any other training or education that you've taken for hypnosis. So hypnosis can be applied and effective, but you want to have that homeostatic state of feeling enough so that the more doesn't feel like a struggle. So in series 2, I really cover some of those further expanded processes for confidence and, confident and clear on the intention of what that script is there to complete. Self-esteem, Whereas in series 1, it's all about stress management and using self-hypnosis every single day so that you can feel like your very best self. Hypnosis can be applied and effective as a one and done for even very serious issues. But I always ask my clients to make a commitment that we might do 2 or 3 sessions for whatever it is that they're looking to achieve. If it's something like weight loss and they want to lose more than 30 pounds, then maybe even after the 2 or 3 sessions, we'll do a follow-up in about 6 weeks or 2 months or maybe once a quarter. There's people that have come for just a one and done to lose more than 30 pounds. And then I talk with them 6 months later and it's been achieved. And they'll also say that it felt so natural. They may not even had been aware that their diet was changing or that they were taking better care of themselves or that they had more energy in the morning to get up and move or to go to bed, because sleep can do so much for physical healing. There's no typical exact answer or guarantee that I want to give a client to say this issue is going to be solved in 1 session or 3 sessions. It's always short term. There's not any dependency that any client for any need is going to have to work with a hypnotist ongoing for weeks over months. Different hypnotists will structure their programs to different sequencing. So if you want to do this as a profession, you are completely free to work with your clients for as long as you'd like to, using hypnosis and other forms of coaching, because this training product that I have also, really explains NLP, which was branched off of hypnosis, which is neuro-linguistic programming, which a lot of coaches are using. Tony Robbins is very popular with having familiarized us with the immediate effect of NLP. So hypnosis really is up for you to decide how long it is that you want to work with a person with hypnosis. Some people keep working with me, athletes, business professionals, because they understand the value of investing in themselves and staying at flow and keeping their mind as a tool as sharp as possible. But it really does get to a point where we work together and we sort of laugh about what do we need to work on? And they say everything's going so great and they just want to keep that up. And I say, well, remember, there's not a dependency. You are in your own time always hypnotizing yourself. So this time that we share, where I'm taking that role of a hypnotist, is just an additional support. It's not a dependency that you have to work with me. I do structure my sessions around 2 hours in length. And there's some clients that maybe we could go longer. Some clients, I think, going anywhere even close to that or longer would certainly be way too much. If I'm working with kids, maybe 12 or under, I might want to keep the session a little bit shorter. They're not going to be as excited about staying still or staying, focused for that long. So the client session length time can be variable depending on what your goals are. So thank you. Great question. Okay. Do we get live practice? Now, a lot of people are curious about hypnosis happening virtually. I guess there's this myth that it can only happen in person. Maybe we aren't seeing stage shows yet really happening through Zoom groups, which we should. That would be a lot of fun. Maybe it might not be as entertaining, but I can tell you that hypnosis virtually is literally just as effective. It's communication. Why wouldn't communication be just as effective virtually as it is in person? Now, some people might say body language cues, right? Because, how is it that we're doing eye contact? I'm looking into the camera. You're seeing me look into your eyes, but of course here right now, I'm not seeing you interact with me through those body language cues. But when you are working with a person in a virtual interface, you absolutely observe and can read all of those cues like what can be read when you are face-to-face in person. So for this training product, all of the practice is live virtually. If you want to connect with other people studying hypnotism, absolutely. My intention is to, connect this small but growing industry of people out there understanding that hypnotism is not anything to be afraid of. It is not anything mystical. Well, okay, it is as mystical as the mind, but we understand the process as far as the formula and equation, because that's what I've put in this training product for you to make it something tangible so that you can apply it, whatever you're setting, using self-hypnosis every single day so that you can feel like your very best self. If you want to work with people in person, if you want to only do virtual, if you only want to do audios that you record and create channels or sell products of guided imagery audios. Some people might think hypnosis is only those guided imagery audios, which is, like a guided meditation, what we call a yoga nidra, perhaps. But hypnosis also, like NLP, can very much happen in the waking, interactive, and even just natural conversation setting. So, I do talk a little bit about cohort hypnosis, which is applying hypnosis outside of the, let's say, relationship of somebody understanding that hypnosis is happening. But like I said at the very beginning of this webinar, you have to have participation. You have to have compliance. This person that you might be hypnotizing has got to want to participate to whatever the effect is. My product doesn't talk at large length about the entertainment or stage applications of hypnosis. It addresses those, but what it means to do is to help you use hypnosis as a self-transformation tool or for others that you want to support. And so it's really geared towards that. All right, let me see any other questions I have here. Okay, so how is the training shared? It is a digital product. So series 1, you get immediate access upon purchase to 10 lessons, audio lessons, and really these lessons, they're maybe 20, 30 minutes in length, but they contain so much subtle depth to what it is that's happening in hypnosis. Some of the smartest people that I've really ever met. I mean, these people are so accredited in academia, and they've worked in the government, or they're high ups in hospital or healthcare systems. I mean, these are real big movers and shakers. And these are the types of people who are attendants like me at the hypnosis conventions. So hypnosis is a very exciting and interesting thing to study. And that's why I'd said that I'm going to be studying my entire life more and more about hypnosis, because it really is like a user manual for the mind. Hypnosis is going to be something that, as you practice, as you have your own experience and applying it for yourself or for others, you can come back to even the very first lessons that are in either your series 1 or series 2 training and get more and more and more depth. I mean, like I said, over 10 years that I've been studying and taking so many trainings, and I had wished that I had found a training like this one that just included everything all together. And it started me at the foundation of understanding what it was that I'm studying, instead of giving me a book of scripts and telling me that this is what hypnosis is. We all can learn in different ways. So of course I include the scripts too, but I think because I've taken that time in the beginning to really dissect what it is that's happening with this phenomenon of hypnosis, that you're going to know when you read those scripts a lot more about the subtlety, because there are direct suggestions and there are indirect suggestions, and each hypnotist is going to define their own style, and it's not anything that you could get wrong. There's some people in the industry that sort of joke to say, we're making this all up, but it is a power of applying confidently this intention of what it is that you are wanting to communicate. Are you communicating that this problem that you or somebody you're serving feels associated with is now over there, and while it's over there, look and feel and sense and experience this reprieve and this reset. You've released the pain and the problem, and you are just receiving every pulse of your heart. You could create a catalyst to, every time you breathe, every time you blink, every time something occurs, which would have occurred naturally, then, add in a clause, you are getting better. Things are feeling easier. The problem is now further and further. So it's a lot of fun to use hypnosis in your life and to support friends, family, and to demystify it. There's so much standing stigma, which just blows my mind, because we're more evolved today than we ever have been. And we're so advanced, and we're so intelligent and connected through all these virtual real-time medias. And yet hypnosis is this thing that is taboo or judged, or, a bit scary for people, because they think it's some process of giving your power away to someone else. That's the biggest lie. If your power is given away, you've participated in that. And I'll say you've participated to give some of your power away by these stories that you have running on the unconscious, on repeat, any story, even if it's your own self or your own inner critic who's giving you this story, anything that's making you feel held back or struggling or deficient in any way, that is a lie. And we're all in a delusion all the time, all of us, because it's perception. And so hypnosis is a very safe, natural, effective tool for having the reins or being in the driver's seat of which delusion it is that you're in. And I've seen people, for physiological change. There's several medical doctors, psychologists, and neurologists, very highly specialized, research-oriented people who recognize the studies of what can be achieved through the power of belief and experience, like hypnosis. And so I really want you to consider hypnosis as being something that you apply for your own goals and that you can bring it out to the public and demystify it. So Hall Hypnosis is where I've put more information about the product. You can really learn, series 1, take it as fast as you want, but I've broken it into 6 weeks. So it kind of mirrors that series 2. Go through series 1 before series 2. It's prerequisite because, like I'm telling you, series 1 has everything at a complete understanding of hypnosis. And then series 2 is just a further and deeper explanation on some of those more specialty uses, and then the real in-class virtual practice time. So thank you all so much for being a part of this webinar and Q&A. If I can answer anything else for you, feel free to shoot it in the chat, or you can go to the Hall Hypnosis. You can sign up for my newsletter and get more details about what's going on there. You can look up more about the Series 1 and Series 2 hypnosis training product. I mean, these products include thousands of dollars, more even than a college degree of training that I've taken. And there are other people who've been in this ongoing learning, our personal development experience, who've taken this training product of mine and have really, complimented how thorough it is. It is every single thing that you could consider coming across over even maybe decades or several thousands of dollars of investment. So I really hope that you'll check it out and ask me any questions on it. And thank you all so much. I will be back doing more webinars, more Q&A. So any other Qs that come in, I will answer those in the next webinar. And for sure, I'll put any details that may seem, relevant, or my intentions are to be transparent so that you really understand what it is that my goals were, which is to demystify hypnosis and share it out there with everybody so that we can wake up from any story that we're in, that we no longer choose to be in, and create a story that better serves us and most fulfills our life. So thank you all so much. I'm Lauren Hall, Modern Day Hypnosis. And if you go to hallhypnosis.com, you can check out more for my Series 1 or Series 2 hypnosis training product. Thanks all. Bye.